Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where we give you more news in less time. I'm Mark Hanrahan. Tonight we're going to start with new information in a KREM 2 investigation into the Spokane Shock. Sports Director Brenna Green is live in the newsroom tonight with the latest twists in this ongoing story. Brenna?
Hi, Mark. Tonight we know that the Spokane Shock is officially without a league to play in just weeks before the IFL season is set to kick off. At 5 this evening, the Indoor Football League posted this tweet saying, quote, due to multiple issues, the Shock has been terminated from the IFL, end quote. So how did we get here? 5 o'clock today was also the final deadline for Shock owner Sam Adams to submit a $128,000 security bond to the Public Facilities District, which manages the Spokane Arena, to play their upcoming season. The deadline came and went with no bond received, so the PFD also terminated its contract with the team. All of this coming after we launched our KREM 2 investigation a few weeks ago. The PFD told us it consistently struggled to get payments from the team last season, so this year they required those payments in advance. The Shock were scheduled to play their first game at the arena on March 18th, but now we're told anyone who has already purchased tickets for this season will get a refund. KREM 2 spoke with Sam Adams on the phone this evening. He says he is now applying for the Shock to join the NAL, which is the National Arena League. KREM 2 received this email from the PFD showing Adams saying that is his intent. I've reached out to the NAL for comment. We haven't heard anything back quite yet. More than 50 2020 season ticket holders told us they still haven't gotten their refunds after that season was canceled because of COVID. We are going to stay on top of this story tomorrow after the KREM 2 investigators have been relentlessly working several angles of this story. You can read all of our work by texting the word SHOCK to 509-448-2000. Back to you.
Brenna, thank you very much. In other news this evening, you are taking a live look at Ukraine's capital city of Kyiv, where it's about 8 o'clock in the morning after an intense night of Russia continues to invade Ukraine. In just the past few hours, Russian troops have continued to make their way into the capital city, as 3 more explosions could be heard across the city at dawn. The conflict now killing more than 130 Ukrainians and injuring hundreds more. That death toll, however, is expected to sharply rise. Overnight in Ukraine, people sheltered in subway stations as Russia continued to attack. There have also been reports of Russia taking hostages in Chernobyl. Tonight, the Ukrainian Defense Ministry says they've inflicted 800 casualties on Russian forces since the invasion began. Here at home, our local elected leaders are condemning Putin's actions and voicing their support for the people of Ukraine. So we'll start with a look at what Washington Governor Jay Inslee had to say about the attacks. Governor Inslee posted on Facebook today stating that all Washingtonians should be outraged by Russia's unprovoked attacks on Ukraine. He also says that he stands by President Biden's support of NATO and his efforts to protect our country. Inslee said he and the First Lady are thinking of those suffering from the attacks, especially members of the Ukrainian community living in Washington state. Across the state border in Idaho, Governor Brad Little also voiced his support for Ukraine in a tweet today. Little wrote that he is praying for the Ukrainian people and is praying for peace. He also went on to state that Putin's attack is an assault on democracy and that we must hold Russia accountable for their aggression toward the Ukrainian people. For more local lawmaker reactions on the Ukraine crisis, just head to our website, which of course is KREM.com. Well, 10 days ago, the Kettle Falls School Board voted to make masks optional. The move was in violation of the state mask mandate. But tonight, in a tense school board meeting, the board reversed course. As KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk explains tonight, the prospect of hefty fines led board members to reconsider.
This was by far the most bizarre school board meeting I've ever covered. There was so much yelling and shouting. Board members had very little control at times, but masks are once again required in Kettle Falls schools.
There were celebrations in Kettle Falls weeks ago when masks became optional in schools. They were required at tonight's school board meeting, and people weren't happy.
I'm asking for you to please put on a mask.
You guys realize how stupid that is?
I haven't worn one of these yet.
I understand that.
But I'm here to listen to what's going to happen to my kids.
At first, the state superintendent's office threatened to withhold funding and gave the district 20 days to comply. Superintendent Michael Olson said the district could afford to disobey the state mandate since it would be ending March 21st. Then the Washington Department of Labor and Industries gave him a call.
It could be as much as $70,000 per unmasked staff member. Do the math, that adds up pretty quick. If they were to come in and inspect they could bankrupt the school district in one visit.
Superintendent Olson told LNI they would require staff to wear masks. The department said that would satisfy the complaint. Then yesterday, Olson says the governor's office got involved.
The rationale that they provided was that an unmasked student can pose a risk to a masked staff member.
The state said since the district willfully ignored the mandate, they could be fined for every unmasked student as well. The governor's mandate ends on March 21st. Excluding weekends and midwinter break, students would have to wear a mask for 13 more school days.
That's what we're talking about, 13 days.
It came down to a vote, 3-2 in favor of requiring masks once again. Board member Jaya Fowler voted no.
I don't want to see a bankrupt community or a school, but I want to take a stand for my children as well as the rest of the children in this community.
And Kettle Falls schools will be closed on Friday. The superintendent told me he just wants to give teachers a chance to regroup and prepare for Monday. In Kettle Falls, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
Now to our night beat with a quick look at the day's top stories. It is day 2 of the murder trial for the Spokane man accused of killing his ex-wife back in August of 2020 outside of his home in Browns Addition.
For it to enter above her left eye, it was much more likely that she turns as though to get out of the vehicle, at which point she is shot.
Well, this morning, the jury learned more about how Beal's ex-wife, Mary Schaefer, was killed. A medical examiner testified that Mary died from a gunshot wound to the head. He says that gun was fired from just 2 feet away. Photos show Mary's body slumped over in the rental car. They were presented in court today. Detective Green there says officers found a bullet casing on the passenger side of the car. He also pointed out that Mary's purse was still in her lap and her foot was on the edge of the door. He says it appears the positioning of her foot would not be possible unless the door was open to some degree. Well, we know more about the threats made to the Lapwai School District in Nez Perce. According to Captain Leotis McCormick, someone called the school district threatening to shoot up the elementary school. Schools have been closed all week in response. Police say they are working tirelessly to try to find the suspect. The FBI is also helping, Resources are being provided in the meantime to parents and students in the school district. Spokane's Northtown Mall has a new owner. Cohen Retail Investments Group has purchased the property for $49 million. The new owner says the mall will continue their plan to create opportunities for people who haven't come to the mall in a while to come back. He also says he is excited to be part of the community and he plans to revitalize the mall and make it a better destination.
One of the fun things for us is Restaurant Week takes on the 3-course menu, which is actually what we do on a nightly basis. So to some degree, we're just doing more of what we normally do, which is a lot of fun. We set up our menu that way because we enjoy it and we think it's a good experience to sit down and have 3 courses.
Inlander Restaurant Week has arrived in the Inland Northwest. Today was the first day that you can attend 99 different restaurants, each offering 3-course meals. Prices range between $22, $33, or $44. Because Restaurant Week is popular, most restaurants are recommending that you make reservations before going. Restaurant Week is set to go until March 5th. And that was your Night Beat. To learn more about any of these stories, just text the word night to 509-448-2000 and we'll send them directly to your phone. All right, let's take a quick break from the headlines to talk weather because we woke up to a little bit of snow this morning, but then the sunshine showed up. Let's get out to meteorologist Thomas Patrick in the Outdoor Weather Center tonight. And Thomas, the temperature is just warming up from here, right?
Yeah, at least during the daytime hours because that sunshine made a big difference today. Fortunately, it can't help during the nighttime hours, so it is quite cold yet again. Had to resalt our workspace here from the Outdoor Weather Center because of that light snow from this morning, really just froze over very quickly out here, but it's going to be another very cold night and very cold morning, but our daytime hours are getting better thanks to the sunshine. Here will be our next weather system. It'll be in the form of both rain and snowfall come this upcoming Sunday, but as you look at tomorrow morning, again, 11 degrees in Spokane, nothing to scoff at. Could certainly get a couple single-digit low temperatures early Friday morning, but it does get better from here as we look at the weekend. We're starting to push 40 degrees. That means rain is certainly possible during the day, but we're not out of the woods in terms of snowfall quite yet. A look ahead at not only this weekend, but next week's forecast in a few minutes.
Well, the Gonzaga men kept rolling tonight as they beat the University of San Francisco 89-73. Chet Holmgren and Drew Timme had equally impressive stat lines tonight. Our Brenna Green will have more coming up later in sports. And that was your KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where you get more news in less time. We'll be right back after a quick break.